quest to find the Supreme Gladiators champion has begun. Tonight, 1995 Ashes winner Kerryn Sampey will face last year's Gladiators champion Jane Smith. And 1995 champ Mark Everitt competes against 1993 champion Phil Norman. The prize, the ultimate reward for the ultimate challenge. Now, welcome your hosts, Ulrika Johnson and John Fashanu.
Good evening and a very warm welcome to the National Indoor Arena here in Birmingham and to a series of 3 Gladiator specials. Now, after 8 eventful years, this, sadly, is our last series. Well, we're going out in style. What we're doing is we're bringing back champions from past and present to battle it out for Supreme Champion of Gladiators. And to make the show even more special, we're bringing back Mr. Awooga himself, John Fashanu. Welcome back.
Thank you, Ollie. I've got to talk about the prizes. The most important thing, the cash. Somebody is going to walk away with £8,000 in cash.
To join in, but let's meet our former champions. Tonight they are Kerryn Sampey
and Jane Smith. Come on, girl.
A very warm welcome back, Kerryn. Now, when did we last see you on screen?
Oh, in '95. That's 4 years ago now.
It is, and your hair's grown a bit, hasn't it?
I'm in disguise.
But in fact, we've seen you backstage quite a lot because you've been involved in some massaging and things like that.
Yeah, I've been kind of back every year because I now do a lot of massage. And
sports massage?
Sports massage, yeah, which I actually picked up from doing these shows in the first place, from having treatment myself.
So that's what Gladiators has brought about in your life?
Absolutely, yeah.
And how does it feel to come back? How have things changed?
Oh, not changed at all, but it's kind of different this time.
Yeah, and there's a lot of money at stake. How do you feel about that?
I'm trying to think about it, actually.
But you're feeling okay? You're looking forward to the shows?
Yeah, I'm going to go out there and keep smiling, have a laugh, really.
Well, we remember your smile and we look forward to seeing you out on the events. Let's hear it for Kerryn Sampey.
Okay, Jane, you won last year. What have you been doing since last year? Anything special?
I've still been training. I'm a springboard diver, so I've still been doing that. Last year was a great year for me. You know, I won the series, which is a real accolade. You know, I loved every minute of it, and I've been fortunate enough to be asked back this year.
And how hard do you think it's going to be here tonight against everybody who's won before, may I add?
Last year, you don't know what to expect. You know, you come into Gladiators first time. You know, you just go pot luck, and luckily it worked out for me. So this year, you know what to expect. You know it's going to be tough. Everyone's had the day, so you know everyone's a winner in the end, really.
Jane, off you go. Get yourself ready. Jane Smith!
Well, we've met the girls. Now it's time to meet the guys. Tonight they are Mark Everitt
and Phil Norman. Come on, guys.
Welcome back, Mark. Slightly different hair situation.
Yes, last time I had a long ponytail, but I thought it was time to get that cut off.
Oh, you have to remind everybody at home what you do and where you're from.
Well, I'm from Boston, Lincolnshire, so hello, Boston there.
And what do you do?
I work for social services.
Right, and what have you been doing since we saw you last?
Well, I've more or less got back into my old routine. I've had a new baby girl. She's called...
I know, because you had a little son, Harlem, before.
Yes, yes. Harlem's now 3.
Doesn't it make you feel old?
I feel old now, yes. Now, Shay Milan, she's 5 months now.
Is she here?
She is, yes.
Gosh, so a little budding gladiator. And how do you feel about taking part tonight?
I've been studying the other guys, and I think, you know, it's going to be so close. The winner is going to really have to do he's going to have to work hard for it.
Absolutely, that's what we like to see here on Gladiators. Let's hear it from Mark Everitt.
Well, Phil, you were last here in '93. That's a long time ago. What sort of things have you been doing since '93?
Yeah, 7 years ago. Got into my martial arts a lot more. Did 2 British titles and a world title last year.
What, you won?
Yeah, that's correct. Went back to school. I've just completed my final exams in my degree. So.
Congratulations, Phil. Well done.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm ready for a good blowout.
And do you think you're going to win?
To be perfectly honest, I'm here just to give it me all. Like, it's the ultimate one. It's the final one.
So you really are taking it very seriously?
Always.
That's what we like to hear. Phil, we wish you all the best. Phil Norman!
Well, now we've met the guys and we've met the girls, so let the games begin. Getting ready to score with the blue balls, it's Jane. Scoring with the red balls, it's Kerryn. And tonight, they're facing Vogue and Rebel.
The Vogue and the Rebel kick off the 1999 campaign. The Powerball pitch a sight to make the nerves of toughest contenders tingle. Jane Smith, ladies champion last year, stats up like this: 1.75 m tall, tipping the scales at 64 kilos. She's clashing head-to-head with Rebel, who'll be claiming a 5 cm and 2 kilo advantage.
3, 2, 1.
Jane up and running. Oh, Rebel gets her down and crashing. Vogue manhandles Kerryn to the floor. An opening taster of what's to come for these two contenders. Kerryn Sampey collects, leaves Vogue for dead and plants a two-pointer. Rebel plants Jane. Kerryn's third sortie, sorted by the Gladiator. Jane with space. Scores! Oh no, Rebel knocks the basket away. Kerryn versus Vogue. And Vogue hauls her down. Jane pops one in the pokey to level the score. Her mum loves it. Kerryn's already shown she can evade the Vogue. Oh, not this time. Searing slam down for a ball. Oh, Kerryn's in trouble. Less than 20 seconds to play, and Kerryn's shoulder took the brunt of that heavy tackle. Bravely playing on. Jane picks up and lets go in the space of 2 seconds. Kerryn wide and pops another two-pointer in the pot. Jane again. Oh, but Rebel snuffs her out like a candle. And Vogue makes light work of Kerryn. Time's up, the big worry being Kerryn's shoulder injury. She caught Vogue napping, came wide, but Vogue recovered well for the tackle, and Kerryn lands shoulder first.
Jane, I have to say, Rebel was a pretty good match for you. You're both very tall.
Yeah, definitely. You know, she's a good tackler. She elbowed me in the jaw at the end, but I managed to get one, hopefully. So, you know, it's a tough game. Takes a lot out of you.
It certainly does. We'll wait to find out what the scores are. And Kerryn, you just received a bit of a bruising there from Vogue.
Yeah, just straight on my left shoulder, and then Vogue came down on top of me, but...
All right, let's bring John Anderson in and find out what the scores are, John.
Right, it's quite interesting. Kerryn had 4 very good points, scored 4, and Jane scored 2, but the other ball was going in, and the Gladiator knocked the pod, and therefore the ball came out. So I'm awarding that 2 points to Jane. 4 points each.
4 points each. Let's hear it for Kerryn and Jane. Well done.
Eagle-eyed Anderson also spotted that Rebel backed into the basket, denying Jane what was rightfully hers. With the opening event under their belts, it's all square on 4 apiece.
Over to the men's event. Scoring with the blue balls, it's Phil. Getting ready to score with the red balls, it's Mark. And tonight, they're facing Ace and Hunter.
When you're facing this twosome, the prospect is gruesome. They're lean, they're mean, they're nothing like Mr. Bean. Hunter and Ace have not come to mess about. The contenders are winding themselves up for this clash of the Titans. Here's how the pre-match pair-up went.
Your choice. Powerball, Ace.
And why did you pick Ace?
For the weight advantage. Because he's a big guy. I think I might be able to slip him.
The Ace may want to disprove that theory. Phil shaking his head at the prospect of Hunter. Mark Everitt backs his judgment with a blistering 2-point effort. Reloads for a second bite. Fast and furious. Mark's fast. Ace is furious. But Phil's flattened by Hunter. 4-0 to Mark. Mark again. Ace trumps him with a heavy hand. Phil can't make the stretch to elude Hunter. A slow start from Phil Norman. Hunter determined to be the conqueror. Mark on the offensive. Ace struggling for a purchase. And Mark sells him out. Oh, and banks an easy 3-pointer for the middle basket. Phil's in the thick of it, and Ace knocks the basket away. Phil furious with that misfortune as Ace robs Mark. Phil still looking to get off the mark, but Hunter's still looking to get him on the deck. Mark with time and space and another 3 points on the scoreboard. Phil locks and loads, but the Hunter spikes his gun. Mark, all the time in the world giving Ace a lesson in this game. Another 3 points. Phil still battling, but the Hunter and the Horn will have him beaten on this memorable occasion. An explosive opening for Mark Everitt, 13 points on the Powerball pitch. And even when Ace got a grip of the situation, Mark the Shark just took him on, shook him off, and headed for where the points were.
Mark, absolutely sensational. That's got to be one of the hardest tests.
That guy, I chose him because he was a big guy, but he did surprise me. He could still move. He's still got the rhythm there.
Let's call John Anderson in. Give some scores.
Well, pretty one-sided there. Phil fought very hard, but unfortunately failed to score. Mark had a sensational 13 points.
13 points! Congratulations! And let's hear it for Phil Norman. Well done.
As the guys head for the locker room, here's the confirmation, 13-0 to Mark with one event gone, but it looks like Kerryn Sampey's got some news, and it's not good.
Well, Kerryn, we did say in Powerball that you were hurt. What's exactly happened?
Just in my joint, I think it just popped out and then popped back in again.
And this is, I really don't know what to say, because you've done one event, which is almost such a false start. You get worked up and you've been motivating yourself for this. You get in and it's over so quickly.
Yeah, well, 30-second comeback kid, eh? It happens. But good luck to Janet. I hope you can carry on, but all the best.
We'll still see you around, because you'll hang around for the rest of the show, won't you?
Yeah, that'd be great, thanks.
Let's hear it for Kerryn Sampey. And of course, in the event of an injury, we're bringing in our substitute. Have you been warming up, Janet Allen?
Yes, I have. I've been warming up in the backstage. I really feel it for Kerryn. She's a great athlete. And it's just a shame that it has to happen this way.
Well, there's plenty of support for you out here in the arena, so let's hear it for Janet Allen.
So, Ladies Gladiators champion of 1995, Londoner Janet Allen steps into the fray for Kerryn Sampey.
And standing at the foot of the wall, it's Janet. She's going to be pursued by lightning. Also getting ready to climb, it's Jane. She's going to be chased by Falcon.
The feathered phantom soars 1.70 meters in height and weighs in at 70 kilos. The family favourite Lightning is also 170 and scales at 57 kilos. And just 3 weeks ago, she became a mum to baby Lexus. So it's a testimony to Lightning's fitness that she's back so quick. Janet Allen in the pink, Jane in yellow, 7-second start and 10 points at the top for the winner. Here come the Glads. Lightning and Falcon both sublime on the climb. And this set to be a gripping contest. Lightning on Janet's tail, Jane keeping the bird of prey at bay. Upwardly mobile, Jane looks to have left her worries behind her, but Lightning proving her get up and go hasn't gone. Jane at the top. Fash will sum it up in a second, but for Janet, the writing's on the wall. Lightning with a customary flash of brilliance.
Jane, well done, congratulations. You made that look easy.
Yeah, I struggled a bit on the top. I was a bit panicking. I could see Falcon below me. Just kept looking up. Struggled, nearly fell off at the top, but I got over in the end.
Could you feel how close Falcon was behind you?
Yeah, I could see her directly below me, but I just kept looking up, and I made it over.
Well done, 10 points! Well done, Jane!
As Fash so wisely observed, Jane made it look easy. A great win over the usually infallible Falcon. Here's how that affects the scores. For being caught, Janet stays on 4, but Jane moves to 14 after 2 events. Meanwhile, in the stands, there's a flood of emotion as Kerryn Sampey is consoled by her mum, Trish. A real tough break after only 20 seconds of Gladiators. Dad Peter's on hand too, and I'm filling up myself here.
Swingshot.
Getting ready to swing is Mark. And Phil. And they'll be facing Rhino and the Wolfman.
Earlier, I asked 1995 Gladiators champ Mark Everitt how appearing on Glad's changed his life.
After winning the Gladiators, I was sort of an overnight celebrity in Lincolnshire. Everybody seemed to know me, and wherever I went, people come over to me and tap me on the shoulders. And I went on to judging some talent shows. I did Miss Boston, and I did a baby talent show, and I tended to raise quite a lot of money for charity around the area as well.
3, 2, 1. Down to the drop zone and up for the points. Mark high and mighty and claws his way to a pair of reds. Great opening swing worth 6. Phil has a 2-point blue. Mark bins his booty and turns for more. Good defensive work from Wolf and Rhino. Phil on the recoil and suddenly all ends up. Mum Fon can see the fun. Third swing. And Phil's tussled away by Rhino and now he's tangled with Mark. This will cost them time, all tied up with nowhere to go, and you can't afford to hang about on Swingshot. Mark has a pair of 1-point yellows he needs to get binned. Phil spits out his and takes flight on his 4th swing. The spectre of Phil is too much for the Wolf. Phil with the reds and the blue, but they're twisted again. These contenders are tied the knot more often than Jim Davidson. Mark's fans on their feet, well, 4 of them are. Phil with a red ball in his mouth, glides to the platform. Can he beat the clock? Mark's blue ball in and out, so that won't count. That's the horn, hardly a shambles at all. In slow motion, we can relive how Phil finds himself head and shoulders above the rest. Snatches the red and then realises his rope has twisted round Mark's for a second time. And that's never happened before in 8 years of Glads, believe me.
And a result of that competition, Phil Norman, 6 points. And Mark, an incredible 10 points.
2 events down, 3 to go. It's 23-6. Here's Fash.
Don't go away. Join us for more exciting fun after the break here on Gladiators. Awooga!
Indoor arena here in Birmingham, where we're just about to kick off with our next event. And ready to run the gauntlet, it's Janet! And tonight, she faces Rio, Rebel, Falcon, Vogue, and Fox.
A point for every sector completed. 10 as she makes it to the end within the half minutes. Rio spun out of it. Next it's Rebel. 2 points for dispensing with Rebel. Falcon floors her, but Janet's getting through. Vogue needs to apply the brakes, bring those pants to work. Final hurdle is Fox. Fox trying to fix her. And Janet is getting through. Yes, 21 seconds. Magnificent gauntlet for Janet Allen. Kerryn Sampey's family applaud that effort.
Janet, that was absolutely amazing. I thought when I first saw you heading towards Rio that you would never get away, but you twisted yourself past absolutely every single one of them.
Yeah, that's right. I thought I'd put a bit of tact to so keep low and try and dodge them as much as possible, and it worked out.
You haven't even worked up a sweat.
What can I say?
Well, you picked up 10 points. Let's hear it for Janet. Well done.
And you won't see a more stylish gauntlet run than that.
To run the gauntlet, it's Jane. Over to John Anderson.
Contender ready! Gladiators ready! 3, 2, 1.
Jane advances on the road to ruin, but leaves Rio in her wake. Rebel frantically fending her off with the power pads, but Jane's into Falcon's sector. Falcon lowers the boom. Oh, and Jane breaches the defence, and Vogue left wondering what that blur was. It's down to Fox to make a desperate last stand, but Jane is digging in for victory. Fired up and over the line for a 10-point result.
Well, I think the only person who gave you a bit of trouble there was Falcon.
Yeah, last year, that was one of my better events. I was really determined this year. tried a few tactics, some of them work, some of them not.
Well, like just brushing past them. Yes, you fell right in front of Fox.
And all at the end.
Absolutely. But you picked yourself up and you picked up 10 points. Let's hear it for Jane. Well done.
Well, after that massive point-scoring blowout, Janet now moves to 14 and Jane to 24. My age.
Now it's on with our men's event. And first up to run the gauntlet, it's Mark. And tonight, he faces Rhino, Cobra, Ace, Hunter, and Saracen.
Well, the prospects may look appalling, but Mark is built for battle. Stands a metre 86 tall, weighs 89 kilos. Now all he needs to get through this lot is a little bit of luck and a chieftain tank. First barrier, along Hell's Highway is the Rhino. Mark's walking the wall to evade that fearsome ramrod. King Cobra's next, and there's plenty of bite in those power pads. The ace in the pack deals out the punishment. Hunter called to arms, but Mark's on a roll. Saracen loves to steam in. Mark back into Hunter's section and all over Hunter. Usually that's just the girls, and John Anderson's had enough. Well, Saracen pushes Mark into a retreat, and the contender trips over the prone Hunter.
There are 10 seconds remaining. 3, 2, 1.
Mark needs a bucket of courage to attain the pot of gold at the end of Gauntlet. Sarah tries to contain him, but Mark twists and turns into the points.
Well, that was by the skin of your green teeth there, Mark.
Yeah, that game was the one I woke up to at 5 o'clock this morning. Absolutely dreading.
Absolutely, I can imagine. And another person who was dreading it was little Harlem sitting in the audience there, watching his daddy run through that bunch of people. What went on just before you were hit Saracen?
To be honest, I don't know. I thought he stepped over the line, but I mean, I wasn't really...
And you know what? We just don't care now, do we? Because you picked up 10 points. Let's hear it from Mark.
Mark happy to walk away with 10 points intact. And little Harlem happy to see Dad's 4 limbs intact.
Next up to run the gauntlet, it's Phil.
Phil Norman from Wimborne, 2 centimetres shorter than Mark and 9 kilos lighter.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, Phil off with a flurry. Oops, swatted away by Rhino. The weight disadvantage showing already. Phil scrambling to find a gap, but Rhino's all over him like a rash. Phil's next Animal House encounter will be with the snake. And John Anderson stopped it. Let's try and spot why. It was all so fast and furious. If we slow it down, so far, so good. And there it is. Phil tripped up by Rhino's huge ramrod as he crossed the line.
There are 16 seconds remaining. 3, 2, 1.
Cobra wielding the power pad, but Phil driving through. Ace is next, and Phil leaves them both for dead. Hunter needs to restore some dignity for the Glads. It's time for a power pad pummeling. The ref stopped it again. John Anderson rebukes the Hunter for the relentless use of the pads. Hunter eloquently displaying his disappointment at that ruling. In the replay, Hunter boxes away. The ref blows up and Phil gets a whistling in his ears as well as a ringing.
5 seconds remaining. 3.
Will this nightmare ever end?
1.
Stalwart Saracen is again the final frontier. Phil goes low. Saracen's on the back foot and Phil's over the line for a 10-point win.
Well, Phil, with 1 second remaining. Over here. You managed to do it. You must be so delighted because Rhino kept you prisoner for about 14 seconds at the start there.
Oh, he battered me. Yeah, I couldn't get through the big guy at the front.
And Cobra kept you back a bit, past Ace as well.
Hunter, I think Hunter likes me because he jumped on me.
Yes, he was giving you a bit of a cuddle there, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, we're best of friends anyway.
I bet you are. Well, you certainly are now. You picked up 10 points. Let's hear it for Phil. Well done.
Stormin Norman needed the maximum, but he still trails Mark by 17 points, 33-16 after 3 events.
Getting ready to hang tough is Janet. And she's going to be against Falcon.
Hang Tough acknowledged to be the most demanding event in the Gladiators portfolio, and the Falcon a past mistress of the art.
Over to John Anderson.
Contender ready! Gladiator ready! 3, 2, 1.
10 points for a successful crossing, but regular Glad fans will know that that's about as hard as house training King Kong. Janet will score 5 points if she's still hanging on in there for a red ring by the time the minute has elapsed. Has to be said that Janet didn't look overly confident as she set off. Maybe that was a ploy to lull Falcon into a false sense of security. Janet's in the red zone, which is good, but very close to Falcon, which is bad. But Falcon one ringed. Well, went to intercept Janet's fly pass and got caught square. Falcon recovers, but Janet needs to consolidate the advantage. Falcon clearly ring rusty, needs to get back into the swing of this less than 20 seconds on the clock. Falcon raising her game and her legs. Janet Street pizza splat on the mat. Falcon can't get a clean lock on, but Janet single-handed, and after the lunge comes the plunge.
And the second of our female contenders is Jane. And she's swinging against the beautiful Vogue.
Well, Jane's nan, Alice, clearly unimpressed with Fash's intro to Vogue, but I think she's probably biased. The ravishing Vogue stands a statuesque 1 metre 67 and weighs in at 68 kilos.
2, 1.
Jane comes from Eccleshall, Sheffield, and is the reigning Ladies Gladiators champion. In fact, her hometown has just voted her Sportswoman of the Year. Vogue looking strong and confident, which is not what Jane wants to hear right now. Jane dives for her country, although diving is something she's hoping to avoid in the next 40 seconds. Jane coming wide, but Vogue has spotted her. Jane is the current Gladiators champion, so if anyone's going to give Vogue the runaround, it's going to be her. It's aerial chess up there. Who's going to make the first move? Vogue trying to swing to where the action is. It's a real nail-biter for Auntie Jean, all right. Coming up on 15 seconds, and Vogue with her work cut out. Jane in the red zone, still on schedule for a 5-point bonus. If she's still intact at the timeout, Vogue strikes for the leg. Oh, she's got her with 6 seconds to go. Bad luck for Jane. Well, that's the downside of Hang Tough. Good dogged work from Vogue. Never gave up. Took a leg, and the rest of Jane just followed. After 4 events, Janet stays on 14, Jane on 24.
On to the men's event. And first up is Mark. And he's going to be swinging against the Wolfman.
The Wolf voted the Family Entertainer of the Decade by Loaded magazine. He may be long in the tooth, but the rest of him still seems to be holding up. 183 centimetres and 95 kilos, which makes him 3 centimetres shorter than Mark, but 6 kilos heavier. In fairness to old Dog Breath, there aren't many younger men who could manage what this guy does on the Hang Tough rings. Up against a contender of Mark's calibre, Wolf's going to have to pull out all the stops. It's good work from Mark, but a great recovery from Wolf. Mark retreats. Wolf's got himself one ringed, but at least he's between Mark and his platform. Well, now he's stalled completely. Maybe I was a bit effusive with my praise a few moments ago, but Mark not pressing home his advantage. Wolf is dangling and Mark is dallying and swinging into the jaws of death. All gets away with it. Now sets him up for a big swing to scoot past Wolf. And Wolf looking bang rough on Hang Tough. The 10-point platform is looming large for Mark. Less than 10 seconds. One last swing, can he do it? Oh, yes, he's there! Great Hang Tough victory for Mark Everitt. And clearly the crowd loves it. And so does Frankie, Mark's girlfriend. What a proud moment for her. Mark bails out. Oh, and Wolf takes his hat off to him. Full marks and 10 points to Mark, and the fabulous Fash is our man with the mic.
Mark, congratulations. It's a long time since I've seen anybody do that to the Wolfman. Well done.
I really enjoyed that. In my last show, in '95, I beat him the first time. He got me back. He said revenge is sweet. It was 1-1. Now, that was a decider.
That must feel good. When you just went by him and there he was, just twisted up in the chains.
Yeah, I think, you know, he nearly had me at one point. And I thought, hang on, he's got his legs open and he's going to grab me, but I got past him.
Well done. 10 points. Well done. Well done, Mark. Wolf, what can we say? I mean, the appearance is different. Your hair seems to have disappeared somewhat. Has that taken some of your strength away, Wolfman? Tell us.
Hey, come on, you saw what happened. He kicked me, and the rings got tangled, and he was lucky.
No, Wolf. Did anybody see Mark kick the Wolfman? I'm sorry, I think...
John, I wouldn't lie to you, John.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I'm so pleased to see you again.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm really...
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. And I've missed you. Thank you very much.
Enough.
Johnny, you've seen what he's done.
Yeah.
You've seen what he's done. You're starting it again, aren't you, eh?
You behave yourself. Get your hands off. Get your hands off or you'll be inside and that'll be the end of it. No more.
Thank you, Johnny. Let's hear it from Mark. 10 points. And the Wolfman.
At least the Wolves chalked up the biggest laugh of the year so far on television. Just try not to be dazzled by that bald spot.
And next up is Phil. And he's against a Cobra.
Cobra, like a coiled spring, ready to hustle with plenty of muscle. Cobra will find himself a centimetre shorter than Phil, but 12 kilos heavier. What an athlete. He even exercises his face. Well, Phil needs a big win. At the moment, he's 27 points adrift. And for Cobra, hang tough is no laughing matter. Huge swings and incredible speed. Phil dodges the head-on crash, but Phil needs to defend. Cobra latches on. Phil just 10 fingers from defeat. Cobra prizing them apart. Phil fighting the agony. Oh, but Cobra shines with that matte finish. Cobra worms his way across the rings, wraps his victim up and then works away on the fingers until the contender becomes the fall guy. And a great strength from Phil, pushing himself through the pain barrier, but in the end gives up and goes down. With 4 events gone, Mark's up to 43. Phil stays on 16.
And first up on Duel, it's Janet. She's going to be facing Rio.
And the facts behind the figure suggest that Rio is 1.87 m tall and 79 kilos in the weight department, so fairly well equipped to mete out revenge for that Gauntlet debacle earlier. Height difference very apparent, and so's the power. Oh, Janet skittled off the platform in less than 7 seconds. 7 blows in 7 seconds. Here's the last 3, a combination of right, and Janet was left right on the deck.
Next up, it's Jane. And she's facing Rebel. Over to John Anderson.
Contender ready! Gladiator ready! On guard!
The foam's going to be flying in this one. Rebel with the eye of the tigress, and Jane looking to extend a lead over Janet. As they start to rumble, who's going to tumble? Jane working hard, swinging out, and Rebel's in trouble. Rebel rattled, but somehow recovers. Jane can soak it up and dish it out. Rebel can't knock her with her best shots, so that should inspire Jane. 10 points if she scores a KO, 5 if she stays the distance. It's hammer and tongs time. No matter what Rebel throws at Jane, Jane's not budging. I think we're in for an upset. Rebel's in bad trouble. Oh, she's going. She's going. She's gone. slapped away by Jane for a great 10-point victory. Less than 2 seconds remaining on the clock. Her aunt Jean and her nan love it. And Jane's pretty pleased about it too.
Well, Jane, you must be so delighted. The crowd was screaming for you beforehand.
Mad, excellent. Had it once or twice, and she had me back, you know, it was constant cat and mouse chase game. And
it certainly was, and I mean, this has stood you in such good stead because you've increased your lead considerably now to go into the eliminator.
Yeah, I'm really pleased about that. It's a good game. We were both up for it. We both wanted each other. Definitely.
Absolutely. I mean, there was 2 hungry chicks up there, and I mean, at one stage you almost stepped over to her platform, but you recovered yourself again.
I know, I kind of get carried away a bit because she's such a competitor. And I was like, I've got to get her off, I've got to get her off. And after a while, I get caught up with myself, but hey, listen, she's great. Brilliant.
She certainly gave you a run for your money. Let's hear it for Rebel and for Jane.
Yes, Rebel, she was good. Better than you today. So the scores, 14 against 34.
So now we go into the men's event. And first up, it's Mark. And he's going to be facing Rhino.
Lucky him. Compared with Mark's stats, Rhino's muscular frame is 6 centimetres shorter, but 19 kilos heavier. And he doesn't look a bit like that. Rhino gets to work. Mark agile and quick. Rhino with the big bombs. Rhino unloads a massive steamer, but Mark's cool in the pressure cooker, keeps his balance. Rhino more stunned than Mark actually stayed up. Looking to offload another monster, but Mark's not afraid of that. And Mark's serving up a portion of pugil stick for Rhino to eat. And Rhino could be tiring. Rhino steps across, but it doesn't look like a clean win for Mark. Rhino's protesting.
Sorry. I'm referee. Sorry. Okay. Contender is disqualified for pulling the Gladiator.
Not for the first time a contender's trying to pull a Gladiator, but Frankie's unimpressed. Mark certainly locks his stick with Rhino's, and as Rhino leans forward, Mark levers him across.
Well, Mark, I'm sure you're not very happy about that at all, are you?
Not really.
What was going on? I saw that your sort of pugil sticks got locked in.
Yeah, well, we was fighting and we got locked, and it was kind of... I was trying to get my pugil stick back, and, you know, as I was pulling, it kind of pulled Rhino over. I don't really know what happened, but...
Well, it sounds to me, John, as if we have one unhappy contender and probably an unhappy Gladiator as well.
No, as far as I'm concerned, had there been a problem, the indication is to wait for me to call. But as far as I'm concerned, the contender was trying to pull the Gladiator off the platform. Quite strongly, waited for a moment or two, he pulled them off, not allowed, disqualified.
Oh, I think we should have a rematch.
I don't mind having a rematch. I mean, that's a bit unfair on Mark. He was trying to pull me across, and I think the crowd would love to see another rematch.
Well, let's see what happens. We'll have a word with the producers and see what happens. Let's hear it in the meantime for Rhino and Mark.
Right, for the benefit of the audience, when there has been a disqualification, the rules are abundantly clear. There will be no rematch.
So that's told him straight. Mark's people deriding the decision, but it's a good call by the ref. Rhino unbalanced, recovers, then his feet skiddle on the platform as he's yanked by Mark.
Next up on Duel, it's Phil. And he's going to be facing Saracen.
Phil up against the most famous fireman in the country, the mighty Sarah. Phil with speed and agility. Sarah struggling to turn up the heat. Needs to extinguish Phil's enthusiasm if he's to avoid embarrassment. Oh, Sarah's found the spots like he's axing down a door to make a rescue. Cuts Phil down to size. Chews him up and spits him out. And Phil's brother Neil disappointed but respectful of the Gladiator. Phil lets one go, loses his balance, and Saracen seizes the moment to batter Phil into submission. Smashed, bashed and mashed on the floor. Which means after 5 events, Mark remains on 43 points, Phil stays on 16.
Well, of course, the true test of any champion is the eliminator, and it's waiting just around the corner. So join us after the break here on Gladiators. eliminator time. Now, in the women's event, Jane's on 34 points, Janet's on 14 points. That's a 20-point difference, giving Jane a 10-second head start.
John Anderson's poised with his stopwatch and his whistle.
Jane, you will go on my first whistle. Janet, you will go on my second whistle. 3, 2...
This then for a place in the battle of the Supreme Champions final. Jane says, I'm going to be there, up and over, the hurdles are behind her, and the webbing of the net is beneath her feet. Janet underway, and over the first hurdle as Jane gets over the first net. Good networking by Jane. The familiar dangle of the rope provides the next test, the undoing of so many contenders. And Jane, Auntie Peggy and Cousin Joanne don't like the delay. Janet needs to click up a gear and get down that net if she's to close the gap. Jane on the runs, a test of strong nerves and equally strong arms. Janet struggling with the rope, almost in slow motion. Ironically, Janet holds the record for the fastest female eliminator ever, so she's going to have to do some catching up. Jane scaling the cargo net, the gap, if anything, widening. Janet's almost done with the ladder, but now she's got a chasm to swing and a mountain to climb. Jane to the gantry, Janet on the changeover, and doesn't make it. I've never seen a swing back before. Jane on the line, down to earth, with a bang. 2 seesaws and a travelator from victory. She can afford to take her time. Her mum, Jenny, sensing that this is Jane's night, just the rolling roadway to tackle, steels herself for the task ahead, tackles, and tames the hill from hell. She's there, into the final swings. Jane Smith from Eccleshall. Celebrations for everybody, particularly the Smiths. Janet Allen splashes down, came on as a sub for the injured Kerryn Sampey, and she's done them both proud. A sports development officer for Westminster Council, appeared as an extra in Casualty, and 1 foot in the grave. I don't believe it! But now she's back in a starring role on Gladiators. Kerryn with the final words of encouragement. She'll be running up this travelator and the runner-up in this contest. Yes! Janet Allen completes her eliminator. Victor Meldrew would be proud.
Well done, Jane. Congratulations. It's been a long, long day. Here we go. Your Gladiators winner. How does it feel?
It feels fantastic. The eliminator seemed quite hard this evening. A lot harder than I remember, but I had that head start.
Well, you're a step closer to £8,000.
1 step closer, 1 more to go.
Well done. Go and say thank you to all your femmes and family. Go on, off you go. Here's Everitt Jane.
It didn't go your way tonight. You were given an extra opportunity, obviously, when we lost Kerryn, and it didn't quite go your way, failing to pick up the points.
Yeah, it's really hard to get focused when you're asked to come on in a situation like this. It just didn't happen for me tonight, but I still enjoyed myself.
You may not go through to the final, but you're a champion in our eyes. So let's hear it for Janet Allen.
One of the Gladiator greats, Janet Allen. And here's another. Tonight's ladies winner, Jane Smith, into the final with that superb performance. Flowers and kisses all round. Brother Andy, boyfriend Ben. And the action doesn't stop there. In the men's contest, Mark's 27-point lead converts to 13.5 seconds head start.
Mark, you will go on my first whistle. Phil, you will go on my second whistle. 3, 2, 1.
Phil's got it all to do against this man, one of the fastest to complete an eliminator course, Mark Everitt. Onto the nets in next to no time. Remarkable resources of stamina after 5 grueling events. Big over-the-top net result from Mark. Phil's released and the chase is on. Mark on the rope, starting his handbike run as Phil makes the net. Phil's brother, cousin and mum enjoying the spectacle with the net all but done with. It's climb time again. Up the rope for Phil. Frankie shouldn't have boiled washed that sweater, but her fiancé Mark is still showing Phil a clean pair of heels. And Phil with a pedal power, then the big swings to the cargo nets. easily clears the chasm. Onto the nets. As Mark on the wire. Like a bird, sealing to floor in under 7 seconds. Mark's fans right behind him, but a long way behind him is Phil as Mark addresses the seesaws. Mark can't afford a mistake. Phil zipping down the wire. Good landing. Phil's girlfriend Lynn knows it's all over. Mark gets the job done up the old travelator. Splits the paper to join Jane in the grand final. Frankie relieved. His boy Harlem ever so proud. Phil on the final furlong. And a good burst of speed. Great runner-up. Phil Norman, one of the great Gladiator veterans from way back in the early days. In fact, the second series.
Mark Everitt, you're through to the championship of champions of Gladiators now and closer to prize money and everything. How do you feel?
Ecstatic. The only thing I'm not too happy about is that I've got to go for it all again.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the tough thing. I have to say, Phil was getting quite close to you there towards the end.
Yeah.
Were you aware of him?
I always knew he's always been a quick lad. Excellent at the games. Very quick at the eliminator, but tonight it was my night.
It certainly was. Let's hear it from Mark Everitt. We look forward to seeing you in the final. Well done.
Well, Phil, we're not going to let you go away empty-handed. Your medal on, 13.5 seconds to make up. Very difficult against somebody like Mark.
Oh, yeah. Quality contender. Yeah, you're going against the best. If you give them that sort of time, it's pretty much a matter of finishing it off.
Was there any point in time where you thought you might be able to catch him up?
When I was coming down the zip line, I thought he'd have finished by then. And to see him still on the balance beam, I thought, OK, I'm in for a chance if he messes up. But he kept it straight, finished strong. Beaten by a better man on the day.
Good sportsmanship. Well done. Let's hear it for Phil Norman. Well done.
Good sportsmanship, as Fash said. And Mark off to celebrate with his family. Great results and a plate in the final for him. And Phil with much to be proud of. And flowers for Lynn.
You have to tell me, how did you enjoy your first programme back here on Gladiators?
It was great to be back. Great to see so many of you here again. Fantastic.
And some great action as well. And now, of course, we're just waiting to find out who's going to join Jane and Mark in the final of Gladiators. So join us for more action here soon on Gladiators. Good night.
For safety reasons, do not attempt to recreate any of the events you have seen on Gladiators.